go. Looking beautiful. And are we over here in the StreamYard, fellas? Share screen. Yep. Actually, just do that. It's very calming music. What's up, everyone? How are you guys doing?
Hey guys.
Getting set up still a little bit and letting people come rolling in. I believe we're good to go. If this will get out of the way, there it goes. Yeah, that's good. Oh. I'm just gonna trust that. Trust the process.
Okay.
Absolutely. So give it another few minutes. Let people roll in here. You guys comment in the chat if you can hear us. If we look decent. If this filter's good. If I burn myself. Mace Keenum, that looks like your name. Thank you so much. Thanks, Kim. All right. We'll do view. Hide non-video participants.
Just view ourselves.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give it a few more minutes. Let everyone get in here. We're on three different platforms. So you see us up here. We're on Instagram, and then down here we're on our new StreamYard and our YouTube, as well as the link that you guys all got. I just want to see us. That is better. Okie dokie, roly-oly. Thank you guys for joining us. Let me get a little pillow here so I'm comfy. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be a 3-hour-long conversation about Taylor Swift. Just kidding. So yeah, give it another minute or two. It's 5:05. How was your day?
It was so good.
Was it
It
phenomenal?
was pleasant. How was your day?
It was good. It was
Yeah.
busy.
Was it much better when you got here to see me?
It was much better now that I'm in Clearwater.
Yes.
I'm excited.
The water's clear.
Hey Tracy, how are you doing? What's up, Sonia? How are you guys doing? Give it another minute or two.
This is official.
This is
business.
very official. Very, very official. The pen
Got
and
the
paper
banana
comes out.
phone.
Yes.
So,
What was that? iCarly had the eggplant phone?
yeah. We got the banana phone. You can ring in and ask us questions.
Well, that is yours. We have notes.
Need those.
We have some notes.
We're highly trained speakers.
Official. Official. Yes. So give us one more second here while people are coming in. Can't see. There we go. Let's see. You pull it back a little bit more.
Can I just sit
Yeah, that's
cuddle
good.
up then? Together?
You could sit right
All
here.
cuddled up?
That's perfect.
Is it better?
Yeah, that's waist down too, so it's professional. We can edit it.
Oh, more?
There you go.
Oh, this is so.
Is that good?
This is so close. You can smell your breath.
Oh, it probably smells like Chick-fil-A. And then move the Instagram just a little bit this way.
This way?
Like tilt it a little bit more. There you go. Yeah, perfect. Dope.
Cool.
Okay, well then let's get started.
All right, cool.
All right.
Good
Well,
to go.
hello. My name is Seth Duffy, as you guys already probably know, and this is...
Allison Kale.
And today we are going to be talking about honey to hormones. And now, what does that mean, right? So basically, we're going to go over everyday simple things you can do, either at home, on the go, that involve anything from, natural substances to honey, to also natural substances like hormones, right? So Allison, why don't you, I guess I'll introduce myself first. if you guys don't know, my name is Seth Duffy, also at the PTSD Dude. There's my plug for my socials, and our TikTok, Mason Seth. But I'm a wellness and breathwork certified coach. I have a pretty big background in mental health and wellness, and I love talking about it. That's why I'm here. And so I wanted to bring on my now friend, Allison Kale, and tell us about you.
Cool. So yeah, I'm Allison Kale. I am a certified functional medicine nurse practitioner. I own the Confidence Clinic. That's where we are today. Happy to bring you guys in here. So we specialize in hormone optimization for men and women. We do sexual health and wellness. We do O shots, P shots, PRP. We do medical weight loss, and we do basically anything to help our patients bring back their confidence, because we know that when people are confident, they're able to be the best version of themselves, and that's pretty much what we specialize in. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys to talk a little bit about that and natural ways for recovery and all that good stuff.
Awesome. So that was really good. You said a lot of initials in there that you can Google. Tracy, do not Google P-Shot. But some really, really interesting things, because, you know, whenever we think of anything wellness, we always think of gym, right?
Yeah.
And then eating healthy for a really short amount of time right before swimsuit season, right? So there's more to it that you can do, everyday things. And I guess we could just start with the name, right? Honey to Hormones. And the sole reason why I decided to name this Honey to Hormones was because of Taylor Swift's new album. So we are going to touch on honey, but mostly on your daily activities and how they affect your hormones and how your hormones affect your everything, right? Yeah. So I guess let's dive into it. So first thing you think of whenever you think of hormones, what's a big stigma? You're like, oh, I have to go get my hormones checked. Like, what do you see?
Sure. So I hear a lot of people say hormones give you cancer.
Okay.
You know, so that's a pretty big deal. Definitely false information, by the way. A lot of people don't like to think that their hormones might be the culprit of the symptoms that they're experiencing. So a lot of people feel shame and guilt in getting hormone levels checked, like there's something wrong with them. But I'm here to tell you there's not. It's natural for hormones to decline as we age. There are obviously natural things that we can do to detox our body, to keep our liver flowing, to keep healthy pathways, to build healthy, happy hormones, but naturally they're going to decline. So those are a couple of things that I hear a lot of people, you know, talk about stigma attached to hormones.
Right. I think the biggest one I always hear is that only men should be taking testosterone, right? That's the biggest thing.
I actually see a fair amount of my female patients on this webinar right now who I prescribe testosterone for daily, and so kind of makes me giggle. But yeah, a lot of females will come and go, well, I don't want to grow a beard, I don't want to grow, you know, a micro peen, I don't want to lose my hair, I don't want to be shaving my face. And the reality of testosterone for women is that it is so much more than that. It's one of the larger, in terms of molecular size for hormones for women. It controls so much more. You know, when you think testosterone, you think libido. But for men and women alike, it also controls your energy, your mitochondrial production, your cellular activity, your muscle mass, as well as your libido. It also lubricates your joints and all of your other parts. So when women lose testosterone, it is a big deal. But a lot of women don't want a man's hormone, and that's really just so far from the truth.
Absolutely. I think it's a big media thing, right? You see, the only time you ever hear testosterone is somebody, you know, they're on testosterone, they're going to the gym, right?
They're ripped.
Yeah, they're ripped.
So
so I guess we can dive into that more. Do you want to just give us a brief overview of hormones, right?
Sure.
You don't have to get into like the cellular level.
How long do you got?
Yeah, right? All night. And so, yeah, let's just get into it. So you named testosterone, estrogen as well, too. I think a lot of people know what estrogen is as well. Can you name some other ones?
Sure. So
it's like a quiz.
You know, I don't know. You know, just backtracking a little bit, hormones sound like this like really fancy thing, and really at the end of the day, all hormones are is a chemical messenger. Like, it's a chemical signal that performs a certain job in a human's body. So whether that be a man or a woman, when you lack these chemical messengers or these chemical signals, you tend to not function very properly. So there are many different hormones. So just kind of like a brief overview for men, you have your thyroid hormone, controls your metabolism, helps you build muscle, helps you shed subcutaneous fat. You have your testosterone, you have your DHEA. Those are obviously pretty standard male hormones. And for females, same thing. Thyroid is a big problem. It's misdiagnosed a lot. So I get a lot of men and women who come who have a sluggish thyroid who never knew because their provider only will check very surface level labs. And, you got to take a look at a deeper picture. So thyroid, DHEA, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. If you want to get really fancy, you could go and talk about at the cellular level the way that hormones break down into things like pregnenolone and estriol and estradiol. So we could be here all night, but essentially those are the pretty major hormones for both men and women.
So is cortisol a hormone? I know that's one that pops up a lot.
It's not technically a hormone. It is just secreted from your adrenal glands and your kidneys. So you have your kidneys in your back, and your adrenal gland's a little pea-sized gland that sits on the top of that, and that secretes cortisol. I do see, 2025, so everyone's on TikTok, and
right. That's like the new hot thing.
It's the new hot thing.
Like a cortisol blocker on the TikTok shop, right?
I hear everyone has jacked up cortisol, but if you live in America, you probably have high cortisol because we live in an environment where it's very stressful.
Yes,
okay,
it's
go, do more, be more. And so when you are constantly trying to perform at this level, and then you add in sleep deprivation, and then you add in blood sugar dysregulation, and then you add in hormone imbalance, of course we all have high cortisol.
Of course.
We're in fight or flight all the time. And so cortisol is basically released from your adrenal glands. It's like your fight or flight hormone.
Yeah, which I just got my labs back. Mine are high.
Well, you're American.
If anyone knows me as well too. So that's kind of the basics of hormones, like I said, without getting into the nitty gritty of it, for lack of better words. So at Sports Stars, we have 4 pillars of wellness, and it's actually a philosophy. Is physical activity, recovery, mental health, and then nutrition. So the first one, everyone wants to talk about is food. So America, again, our fast food diet, and also the price of groceries right now, my God. So what are some common things that you see in your patients with their diet that has been affecting their hormones?
Yeah, so clearly we all eat we call it a SAD diet, and basically what SAD stands for is Standard American Diet. And that it's sad. We're all eating refined carbohydrates, food that is not real food dyes, artificial, all these things. What I see affecting people the most, and probably 90% of people on this call do this. We wake up in the morning and we literally reach for caffeine. Boom, no food, no water, no nothing. We reach for caffeine. So what happens? Maybe you drink coffee. Maybe for me it's pre-workout. I'll preach it all day long, but it's something that I still unfortunately do. But we reach for caffeine. So what we're doing in this moment is, guess what? You're stimulating your adrenal glands to produce what? Cortisol. Yay. Yeah. And then what's happening then is if you're drinking sugar with or coffee with sugar, cream, things like that, you're spiking up your blood sugar, right? So now not only are you in a high cortisol state, you're also in a hyperglycemic state, meaning your blood sugar's high. Then what happens? Coffee suppresses your appetite, or caffeine in general suppresses your appetite, so you don't eat for many hours, and then you're ravenous and you're like, I gotta eat the closest thing. Well, the closest thing is standard American food. And so then you reach for that food, simple, fast carbohydrates. Why? Because you're ravenous. It spikes up your blood sugar. You feel better. It releases serotonin. So it makes you crave those foods more frequently. So I could it's a very vicious cycle. If I could give people one piece of free advice that many people pay me a lot of money to give, would be to start your day before anything else, obviously with a little bit of water, but a minimum of 15 grams of protein. 30, even better. Because if you can pair your morning with protein, and then I'm not telling you to give up your coffee, give up your pre-workout, pair that with protein, you're going to keep your blood sugar stable instead of being high highs and low lows, and your cortisol is going to be a lot happier and follow the normal pattern. You're not going to have these afternoon crashes. 90% of my patients come and they're exhausted by 3 p.m. Why? They're riding a blood sugar and cortisol roller coaster all day long.
Yeah.
So eat your protein, people.
Eat your protein. You heard it here from Allison. I'm a big fan of protein. I think protein is very, very important in a diet, and it's funny you say that too, because whenever I don't reach for caffeine right in the morning, I feel like my day starts off a little bit calmer, a little bit better, instead of it spiking because you woke up late or you're tired from last night, really groggy. So to go off food and protein. Thinking about that too with the SAD diet. I actually didn't know it was called that. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad.
Yeah.
So you have a really good tip there. Let's skip the coffee just for a little bit, right? And we'll summarize all of this whenever we get done. But we'll skip the coffee, and we're gonna have some protein and some water. Yeah. Please, your cells are screaming you need water. It's crazy to me how many people I know, some of my best friends, even my family, that they just don't drink enough water. As I'm chugging this over here. But so what's another thing you could think of off the top of your head that would have a direct effect without even doing anything like TRT or HRT that you see in your patients, food-wise?
Well, I don't know if this is considered a food, but alcohol consumption.
Yes.
So a lot of people drink alcohol because it makes you feel better. It takes away the stress. It numbs whatever life might be stressing at you.
Yeah.
And so I think that alcohol consumption, so here we are, we're starting our day with, no protein. We're starting on an empty stomach with caffeine, and then we're ending our day with alcohol. So when you look at the actual breakdown of alcohol, it is by far one of the most inflammatory things that you could be putting in your body.
I think that's hit the nail on the head. That's actually what I was fishing for.
Yeah.
That's our American society, right? You go out, and instead of us going out to hang out, we go have a drink.
Yeah.
Right? Or the first thing that the waitress asks you is, "Oh, do you want any cocktails?"
Yeah.
I think that is a very, very vicious cycle too, and you don't realize it until you're in it. And you've had a stressful day, and then naturally what we've been told is to go have a cocktail or go have a glass of wine to calm down.
You deserve it.
You deserve it, right? I used to be really guilty of that. One of my some of my guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible. But one of my guiltiest pleasures was cooking, because I love to cook. I absolutely love to cook.
Yeah.
I love to cook for you sometime. And
cool, let's go.
Yeah, I would polish off a bottle of red wine while I was cooking because it's fun for me. And then I would feel like absolute hell the next day from everything in the wine, not even including what it would affect my hormones too.
Well, and you have to think too, so when you drink alcohol or a nightcap before you do it before you go to bed, I mean, if you're doing it in the morning, that might be a bigger problem.
Yeah. It's a whole other conversation.
Unless it's noon on a Saturday. But if you're doing it before bed and your body is literally creating all this inflammation, you have to, when you wake up the next morning, you go, wow, I really didn't sleep good. You got to start taking note of what makes your body feel good and what makes your body feel bad. Awesome. And stop doing the things that make your body feel bad and find an alternative. Like it's 2025. There are so many like non-alcoholic spritzers, adrenal cocktails, talking about cortisol, THC drinks, things like that. They will help eliminate the stress, which is what you're going for. They will not create that cascade of inflammation. You will sleep better and you will feel better the next day. You cannot have happy, healthy hormones if you are not sleeping well.
Absolutely. I mean,
your body doesn't repair.
It's REM, right? So it doesn't even let you go into REM, and so that's why a lot of people have their hangover anxiety the next day too, because you slept terribly, right? And so that's huge. That's actually the biggest one I wanted to talk to you about too. I've been kind of on a non-alcoholic cleanse, and I am sleeping like a baby. Yeah. I really am. It's crazy that you don't think that even a glass of wine here or there affects you, but it honestly does.
Yeah,
it really does.
And a lot of people don't realize it until they take note of it, and then they go, wow, you know what, I actually really don't sleep good when I drink.
Yeah. I guess to go off of that too, to get into the body here, and then we can go to the next chapter, which is physical, is how alcohol affects hormones for your skin and your body. That's the biggest thing that I have a lot of people that tell me that who stop drinking. They're like, I looked dull, my skin looked pale.
Yeah.
So how do you see that playing into, you know what I mean? Like, do you
Sure. So, I mean, if you think about where is liver or where is alcohol, now you know what I'm going to say, where is alcohol metabolized in your body? It's metabolized in your liver, right? So everything goes through your liver. So when you're drinking alcohol, you're eating a sad standard American diet, your liver is backed up, this is pushing toxins back into your circulation, your skin is your largest organ, so where is that going to show up? More than likely in your skin. So I get a lot of people who come, you know, with complaints of acne, very dry, like you said, pale, brittle skin. And when we start to work through some functional things like cleaning up the diet, cleaning up the liver, making sure all the detox pathways are actually open and functioning and draining, their skin actually clears up a lot.
So speaking of drinking, and then one more food thing is a new term that's been brought up, I believe, by the FDA and all the other organizations out there, right, is also ultra-processed foods. So that is basically, in layman's terms, anything that's extremely processed that you go into the grocery store and you turn it around and your bread has 25 ingredients. Yeah. And we know it doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about ultra-processed foods with the standard American diet and how that affects your hormones, especially testosterone and estrogen.
Well, yeah, and I mean, kind of all of that, and also surrounding the fear that people have around cancer, you got to take a step back and look at, I mean, I'm drinking out of a plastic water bottle. There's microplastics in here that are going to live in my bloodstream and my they're like pulling up people who have been dead for many years, looking into their bones and seeing microplastics still alive in their body for many years.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And so when you look at like the ultra processed food that we're eating, it's actually funny because my kids will go in the grocery store and they're walking down the aisle going, food is not food. and people are looking at me like I'm crazy, but like, you know, they got to know. And so they read the food labels and they know if it's not a cleaner ingredient, then the answer is probably going to be no. But people don't also know to read a food label.
Yeah.
So one time,
taught that, right?
We were never taught that, right? So I didn't really, I guess, fully realize this until I was teaching a class for women in menopause, and I was talking about whole foods. So in my mind, I'm talking about chicken, beef, vegetables, fruits, salad. She went through this whole talk and then came up to me and was like, I can't afford to shop at Whole Foods. And I was like, wow, okay, people literally don't know what they're eating. And so, this ultra-processed food, like, it is clogging up your system. It's clogging up your liver. Think about your lymphatic. Your lymphatic is everywhere. It's clogging all of that up. In turn, you maybe not, but probably many women on this call have heard, I am estrogen dominant. I have too much estrogen. So when you backtrack to cancer, and you know what is primary culprit for women, usually it's an estrogen base because it's proliferative, meaning it stimulates things to grow. But there are estrogen mimickers literally everywhere. It's in your food, it's in your water bottle, it's in the lotion that you put on your skin, it's in your fragrance, it's in your makeup, it's in your shampoo and conditioner. So you're being exposed to hormone like blockers essentially all day long, and then you're expecting to feel good,
and then adding to it by going to the grocery store and getting these ultra processed foods,
and then stopping at McDonald's on the
and
way.
stopping at McDonald's on the way because you don't want to cook the food you just had.
Yes,
I think a really good example is I had a cookout with my partner Mace in April. And I don't eat bread. I have it's a whole thing. But
that's why you have muscle.
Maybe. But so we got hot dog buns, and the running joke is they're still above our fridge, and there's no mold on them whatsoever. They just started getting crunchy, and that was from April.
Yeah.
And so if you think about that, if you think about why I'm tired, why am I overly stressed or irritated, why do I sleep terribly? Well, that's the basis of everything. If you're putting this into your body and it's not even breaking, I mean, bread should not last that long.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. And that was just your standard Publix hot dog bread. Yeah. You know, it wasn't anything weird or random. And so that just that made me think of that as well, too, because it all works together. And if you're confused about why you feel terrible or why your skin looks bad, take a look at what you're fueling your body with. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's where you're going to detox it from your skin. I always tell people when you're reading a food label, if you can't pronounce the ingredient, it's probably not good for
That's
you.
a good rule of thumb.
And also, not always is less ingredients better, because the FDA, they control our food source. They, I don't know if you know that or not, but now you know. They have gotten really fancy with shortening things. So, like, one thing that I see on food labels a lot is EDTA. And when you look up EDTA, it is literally a shortened version for like 1 million different ingredients.
Oh, geez.
So you're thinking that your food list is a lot shorter, but in reality, it's
just
not.
Summarized.
Natural
It's just
flavor.
summarized. Yeah, natural flavor is
could
terrifying.
Be horse manure.
Exactly.
There is no regulation on the
there's a
term
lot
natural
of
flavor.
weird wiggle room with all of that too.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
So, and when you look at chronic disease in general, even outside of hormones, where do you think it comes from?
Absolutely.
Is it food?
It's your food. It's the first thing.
Yeah.
And then to piggyback off of all of that, so thinking about physical activity, so we know what we're putting in our body to fuel it. So then whenever we're burning off our fuel, what are some things that you can think of that would help the everyday person? You don't. I think the average person works out less than once a week. Is that correct?
Sure.
I think
or zero.
Yeah, I think So the average U.S. American works out. I want to say it was less than 8 times a year.
Oh, yeah.
It was something startling. So, are there any things you can think of off the top of your head for an everyday person? Whether it's a working mom or like you, or it's something just to slowly help out anything. Really.
Yeah. I mean, so like you nailed it on the head. So we're sitting around, we're eating a sad diet, and then we're not moving.
Yeah.
And we wonder why we don't feel good, we're overweight, and we're riddled with chronic disease.
Yeah.
If I could offer literally like just the simplest thing, walk. Like just start
Daily
walking.
walks.
Daily walks. Like it doesn't have to be something insane. If you work.
There it goes.
Okay, we're back. So walking is a big deal, and honestly, nobody's doing it. So you got to just start walking. If you work from home, you could get a walking pad. It's a very simple
walking
thing.
desk,
You could walk on a walking pad and still watch your TV show. I have a very hard time. This is going to sound really bad, but time, right? People say I don't have time.
Yeah.
And I think that time is an illusion of what you create it to be, because I guarantee you, if you check how many hours out of the day you scrolled your phone, there's the time right there.
Yeah.
And so the time is not going to find you. You gotta find it. You gotta make the time. Yeah. You gotta get up early. You might have to stay up late. You might have to use your lunch break. Like you have to get creative. And this is something I work, a lot with patients on, is trying to find that balance. But just walking.
I would say the biggest thing too, to go off walking, is schedule it out.
Yeah.
If everyone is extremely busy, everyone has their calendars, and if you have a significant other, if you don't, because there's always parties, there's always a birthday party, I swear. Is just to schedule it out. That's the best way I can find a workout in. If I don't have a meeting at noon, I'll go at noon. Instead of being like, well, I have more energy later on at night. Well, then something always comes up.
Yeah.
It's to definitely schedule it out. That's a pretty good tip that someone gave me a long time ago. So walking. So besides walking, is there anything else that you could think of that is physical? Whether it is a sport, sports stars.
Yeah.
That's where we started. Can you think of anything like that besides walking?
I mean, I always tell people that they have to find something that they enjoy doing.
That's very true.
Okay, because if I tell you, all right, Seth, like, you need to buff up, you need to go lift the weights at the gym, and you don't like lifting weights, you're never going to go.
Do it. Yeah, you're not
right?
gonna do it.
So some people enjoy swimming. Swimming is great. Some people enjoy Pilates. Pilates is great. Walking, lifting weights. Anything that you're going to get your basal metabolic rate to burn more throughout the day, getting your heart rate into a fat rate burning zone. Your heart is a muscle, so you got to strengthen that muscle by exercise, raising your heart rate up. So I always tell people is that it has to be something that they enjoy doing.
That's honestly
not gonna stick to it.
Nail on the head, because I've taken a few HIIT classes. I took Pilates once. Oh my gosh, if you told me that I had to do Pilates as my main workout, I would be obese, because it was the hardest workout I've ever had in my entire life. Yeah. But it's finding out what you like to do, whether it is a pickup game with your friends of pickleball, absolutely, or even just going to the gym, but not even doing the standard workouts. I think a lot of people have a lot of anxiety about that. Well, I have to do bench, I have to do this. There's a lot of variations with a lot of different tools too, and not for the plug, but we do have it on our app as well as the ChatGPT. There's a lot of different variations of exercises, and find one that you like. Yeah. Honestly, that's super key. Yeah. And then physical activity, I think. So, do you see any direct correlation to working out too much? Because you're going to get that. You're going to get somebody on here saying that I run all the time, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. How much time you got?
Yeah.
I do. So a lot of women in general, I'm not calling us out or anything, but we think that running is going to solve our problems. It's going to make us skinny. It's going to do all these things.
Cardio.
Yeah. Do more cardio. But the reality is that the more muscle mass that you have, you will become a fat burning machine.
Yeah.
Right? So this is why bodybuilders sit down and chop down 2 extra large pizzas and they don't gain an ounce.
Yep.
So when you're running all day long, it is genuinely not the best thing to stimulate your metabolism.
Yep.
It is good in healthy amounts, but not in excess. Also, we do a lot of TRT for men. We do a lot of men's health. We have a whole men's health side of our clinic. And we do get a lot of guys who tend to overtrain. And what we see on the back end of that is a rise in cortisol and a decrease in ability to recover from their exercise.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And so when they're not recovering properly, then they're not going to make the gains that they're hoping to make in the gym.
Because you have to give your body time to sleep as well, too.
Yeah.
I am definitely guilty of that. You're like, well, I'm supposed to go to the gym today, but I'm still sore. I'm like, I just keep going. And I'm like, no, Seth, you have to take time to also let your muscles come back as well, too.
Exactly.
It's huge.
Yeah, you have to recover. And when do you recover? Well, when you sleep. And if you're drinking alcohol and eating bad food and you're not sleeping, then you're never recovering.
It's that vicious cycle.
It's a very vicious cycle.
So physical activity, I think we definitely know what to do there is start small. Even if it's at your home, whether it's with some kind of workout app or it's a YouTube channel doing yoga or anything like that. And then I think the final one I can think of is stretching. I think mobility is key the older you get. Yeah. And the older I get, the more I realize this. And I used to make the joke, lions don't stretch before a workout. But I think lions do stretch. I'm pretty sure they do.
After they wake up.
Yeah, they stretch. So mobility is key. Because the older you get, that's why your joints don't work as well. That's why you can't bend down as well. That's why you need a walker, things like that. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on stretching.
Yeah, stretching is honestly, the bee's knees.
It's everything. Yeah.
I mean, I like to give this example, and it's going to be a little bit aggressive, but maybe I'm just a little bit of an aggressive person. However, I have done my fair share in the medical community, and I have literally seen it all. And you could be one of 2 people when you age. And you could be grandpa who is moving and grooving, who's lifting weights, who feels good, he looks good. He trips over the throw rug and he has stretched enough and he has built good muscle tone that he's able to literally just push himself back up off the ground. Or you could be the grandpa that your whole life has been sitting on the couch, standard American diet, you're overweight, your bone density is in the trash can, you trip over the throw rug, you fall down, you break your hip, you can't get back up, you go into rehab, you get a sepsis bloodstream infection, and you don't come out of rehab.
You're done. Yep.
So you got to lay that foundation now, and I think a big problem that we see here is a lot of people are waiting for motivation. And it's not going to come.
And that's actually my final point is the goal for wellness, at least from my viewpoint, is the goal is progress, not to be perfect. Start somewhere, start small, make a plan, and then I think the most key thing is to find somebody to keep you accountable. Yeah. Whether it's a friend that will text you to go to the gym. I always do this with my friend Casey. I'm like, hey, I'm outside of the parking lot at the gym. I don't want to go in. She's like, go in. I'm like, fine. You know what I mean? So you have to find that friend that just pushes you, or your significant other. And then if you need something, if you need a goal, sign up for a class. And your goal is you're going to be really good at this type of class, or sign up for a 5K. Anyone can do a 5K. But I think that's the overall idea here is the goal is progress, not to be perfect. Yeah. Especially in today's society where everything is glitz and glamour and TikTok and Instagram with tons of filters on, right?
I can.
Yeah. So then to move on to our third out of 4, recovery, because we were talking about stretching. On the second page is recovery. I feel like in today's go TikTok world where our attention spans are shot, you're on your phone for work and another notification pops up and now you're over here, now you're on Amazon, and now you're ordering something from Shein, or at least this is just my experience. So what are some things that you can think of that people need to rest? Obviously reasons why, but what are some good insights?
So obviously rest is key. I would challenge anybody on this call to try to meditate. Yes. I guarantee you that it's going to take you at least a year on the minimum side to longer to actually be able to shut your brain off enough to meditate.
Absolutely.
And that is so sad that, like you said, we live in this culture, in this world where it's go. No wonder we don't sleep well and we don't perform well and we don't recover well, because we can't shut our brains off.
Yeah.
No wonder we are all anxious and depressed and sad. We're living in the past and the future. Push, pull. If you can get yourself to meditate, even
Absolutely.
for 5 minutes, I guarantee you that on the other end of that meditation, you are going to feel a lot better.
And then also too, if you're able to meditate, and she doesn't also mean like you're going on like a yogi trip and you're doing all this. She means putting on relaxing spa music, closing your eyes, and not moving.
That's it. Nothing in your brain.
5 minutes a day.
No
Absolutely.
Thoughts, no nothing. You are just present.
It's crazy. I did a challenge a few months ago, and it was 10 minutes a day. I failed within the first week.
Yeah.
I made an excuse. I was like, no, I'm fine. I don't need to right now. But we know that if we sit, for one, in our thoughts, it's better for your mental health. We'll already get there later. And then two, it's better for you to actually rest. Because like you said too, in today's society, everyone on their cell phone while driving, and no one can just take a break. No. By slowing things down, it lets your body reset, because you can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to be the best partner, if you're trying to be the best at your job, if you're not the best in here, that sounds really cheesy, but you can't be the best out there, right?
Yeah.
So that's funny you say that.
As Americans, we're all wired and tired.
Yes. Yeah, that's good.
We're wired and we're tired. We're exhausted. So you got to take that time to recover your body. There are so many apps that will literally teach you how to meditate.
Yeah.
They will guide you through it. Another piece of advice that I give my patients, you guys are getting for free, are things like acupressure mats. You can get them on Amazon. They work really, really well for allowing you to literally just take the load off.
And decompress.
Decompress.
Absolutely.
Nobody decompresses. We're like this all day, and I don't know why I got a headache. My jaw hurts.
Literally on the way over here, I found myself driving like this. I was like, why are my shoulders up? Why am I tense right? Well, I was driving in Florida, but the other one is meditate to go off that and decompress is breath work. That's obviously, I'm a breathwork coach, but that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't know how to actually do. A lot of people, if you do breath work with them, they're not able to take, it's called a box breathing. It's 4, 4, 4, and 4. It's a breath in, hold for 4, breath out, hold for 4, and then pause for 4. A lot of people have to work up to that because we're just so used to just not even thinking about the single thing that gives us energy in life is air. So that's something that I always try to add in with any of my clients, and especially working out. I hate running. If you see me running, you should be running because there's an emergency. But there's actually a type of breath work, which I won't do here because I'm not running, that actually helps me run. So I'm not like gasping for air at the very end. And that if you think about it, that's literally, as well as food, it's your fuel. Yeah. It's your air. Yeah. And we don't put any two and two with it, as well as adding things on like vaping or smoking THC, things like that actually harm your lungs, give you popcorn lung. So it's just something to think about, as well as how we discussed doing progress and not being perfect. That is something you could add. That's free. We have a breathwork class on here. There's tons of YouTubes about breathwork. It's very simple. But the biggest thing that I found in the last year that I've been doing breathwork is it gives you a second to pause in moments that you usually would be so reactive, and that's a direct hormone response right there, because your body's going through your PNS, right? Your parasympathetic nervous system. I said that right? Parasympathetic. It's more sympathetic. It's going through those different fight or flight and then go. Yeah. And so if you do breath work and you practice it, you'll get that second pause before you have a really anxious moment or an argument with your spouse because you're being reactive, because you're in that fight or flight.
Yeah.
So that's my spiel about breath work. You can tell I'm really, really passionate about it. I actually have a bracelet on my wrist, and it vibrates every 60 minutes-ish to remind me to breathe. It's
smart.
Yeah.
We don't do it.
We don't.
Another thing too, I see some people putting questions. If you guys have any questions, we're happy to answer them. Just drop them in the chat, and we'll spend like 5 or so minutes at the end.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, reviewing the questions. A topic for another day, but something that is interesting with breath work and breathing and stuff is improving your VO2 max.
What does that mean?
And so like a lot of people don't do things like that. So a lot of people will get like Oura rings and stuff to track their data. So it's basically improving your lung expansion and capability. And so it kind of trains you and teaches you to like, you gotta be able to breathe, right? Like just when is the last time that you literally just went, I don't know. That's the first time I've done it today. So I'm not gonna lie. That's a problem.
Usually, if somebody was sitting right here, but I definitely do breath work. I do breath work before I go to sleep. Actually, my partner always laughs at me because he can hear me counting. and so yeah, I think that's really important too. To go off of that, we have all these wearables, right, that are attached to our phones, whether it's Fitbit, Apple Watch, all the rings. People look like Lord of the Rings out there.
Yeah.
Do you have one? No.
I do. I just took it off.
I was going to make fun of
before.
you. Joking. But we have all these, Whoop as well, too. It's very expensive. But we have all these trackables, and what are you actually doing with that data? You know? Nothing. Really. You're like, oh, I slept bad last night.
Yeah.
Okay,
what are you going to do to improve it?
What are you going to do to improve it?
Literally life on repeat.
Yeah. So another rest one, which I think is really, really good, is water. Both ways. So people obviously do not drink enough water. I said that earlier. But also, people drink too much water right before bed. I'm guilty of this. And then you wake up and you have to go to the bathroom and your sleep's broken.
Yeah.
You know. So can you talk to us about different ways to drink water throughout the day than just water?
Yeah. So that's a big thing I see too is people coming saying they can't sleep. They have to wake up to go pee. Unless your grandpa who's 99 who has a prostate issue that's pressing on his bladder, like realistically humans were made that unless you seriously have a medical condition, your bladder should hold through the night unless you're drinking a liter of fluid before you go to bed. And so what's actually usually happening throughout the night, no, it's not the question you asked, but people will wake up like clockwork, 2, 3, 4 a.m. I wake up every night at 3 a.m. I have to pee. No, it's not. It's actually your cortisol is rising and or your blood sugar is dropping. You're waking up and you're going, oh, I have to pee. That's not the case.
Which is from what then, right? What we just said earlier.
Yeah, from all the things you did all throughout the day. You know, went to bed with sugar in your stomach instead of a protein and a fat, and so then your blood sugar drops at 3 a.m. You wake up and you go, oh shoot, I gotta pee. No, I'm telling you, you don't.
No, you would have slept through it.
So other ways to increase water intake would be, you know, it's 2025. They make tons of different water bottles like that will tell you drink on the hour, do this, do that.
They have one that glows whenever you're supposed to drink. Can
you can back to gadgets. It can tap you on your thing, you know, when it's ready. Coconut water is really hydrating, but you got to read the ingredients. There's a lot of coconut water brands that also have added sugars and polysorbates and all these other
as well as those
ingredients.
Like liquid IV and things like that
terrible.
too. Yeah, you just have to read that too.
They're terrible. What's this right here? Let's read the ingredients right now.
Water.
And natural flavor.
Yeah.
so literally could be anything.
Yeah. So that's what I see a lot of people using that as a crutch too. They're like, you know, I get all of my water in, but you're not getting enough electrolytes.
Yeah.
You know, and then they go off the other deep end and they're doing liquid IVs and they're throwing up after the gym because it's a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's to talk about that is there's a lot of really easy, cheap, and healthy ways to make an electrolyte drink at home.
Yeah.
And it's super easy, obviously AI, everybody, but it's something to think about too because dealing with your hormones, if your body needs water, it's going to affect everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, and we're also very mineral deficient as a society.
Oh, yeah.
So outside of just electrolytes, like we're all walking around with very low minerals and wonder why we feel terrible. So making like your own electrolyte cocktail, water cocktail at home, and adding in a form of trace minerals can be very beneficial for daytime energy.
Yeah. And all these tips and tricks we're gonna have at the very end, and we're gonna send it out to you guys too. Don't worry, because it's a lot. It's a lot of info, but it's a good talk too. And then I guess the final one is what a lot of people struggle with, especially I mean, especially me, is rest doesn't equal lazy.
Yeah.
I think in our society, you know, as soon as you turn 18, what are you going to be for the rest of your life? Go, 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 go. And then if you do take time for yourself, or if you do take, you know what I mean, the night off of not watching Netflix, not going to the gym, not doing things that you're supposed to do, right? All of your tools or your tasks. So I think that that's a big thing that a lot of us struggle with is I get to rest. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. I think scheduling downtime is really important.
That's smart.
Right? So you schedule your workouts, you're scheduled to work, you're scheduled to pick your kids up from school. Like, you're always functioning on a schedule. Schedule downtime for yourself. And whatever that self-care might be for you. I mean, for me, like, if I had the perfect day of downtime, like, I'm going to get, like, an iced coffee from Cafe Tino Vinto. I have the whole day planned out. And then I'm going to go to the thrift store because it's just what I like to do. And I'm going to find some good finds.
Well, next time you
and
go,
then I'm going to go sit on the beach and, like, listen to the waves crash. Like, you have to schedule that time. But unfortunately, it is very difficult to do because TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it makes
And that's not downtime.
That's not downtime.
Scrolling is not downtime.
Scrolling is really actually bad for your brain. Ask my 8-year-old, he knows. But when these people are telling you to do more, to be better, to always go, 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 go. So we're in this constant state of fight or flight. And so when we do take a nap, lay down in the bed, watch a Netflix show, take some time to just decompress, appears as lazy.
Mm-hmm. And you feel guilty.
And you feel guilty.
Absolutely, yeah.
All the time.
Because there's a laundry list of things that have to get done.
Right.
There's you go on
and I guarantee you, if you evaluate the list, the things that are on there that need to be done, they will get done tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll be there tomorrow.
Still gonna be there.
Most likely, yes.
You might not be, because your cortisol's so high that your kidney might shut down.
That you're stressed out. Yeah, that's true.
You got to take the time. So I think
tomorrow's not promised.
If you book it, it's not promised.
That's actually really, really cool. So I'm sitting there advocating and schedule your workouts, but I've never thought about scheduling my downtime. That's super
it's
smart.
It's important, you know. I say it like I do it. I still struggle too.
Well,
but
it's progress,
better.
not
Progress.
perfection, right?
Not perfection.
So then the final one to go off of that is mental health. Obviously, all of this is tied into your mental health, especially in the world. I wouldn't even say our country anymore. There's a massive mental health crisis. You know, there's not enough therapists, not enough psychiatrists, and there's also everything that stemmed from that, right?
Yeah.
So everything combined, what are some things that would help people's mental health that would deal with their hormones? Just small daily things. Just think of one. We could talk about this for hours.
I mean, this could... The mental health problem that we have going on is so deep.
Yeah.
It's a problem. And like you said, it stems from many things: low hormones, lack of sleep, inflammation. I mean, your blood sugar, literally, your traumatic brain injury. You could go on and on and on. I think one thing is to get off the social media as frequently as we're on it, because I am guilty too. Like, I will get on there and be like, oh man, I need to get some lip filler. I don't look pretty. I need to get my under eye bags fixed. Like,
and then now her phone's listening to her, and so now it's going to give her ads for lip filler in the area.
So then I start to think, like, it creates this illusion of like, okay, look how pretty all this stuff is. My life is so perfect. You don't see what's going on background here. Like, how chaotic it is. So when you're scrolling all day long and you're constantly comparing yourself to other people and what is not even their reality.
And they've done studies about that actually too. Whether you realize it or not, you are directly comparing yourself to that good-looking person or their beautiful cars. We weren't designed to see everybody in the world all the time.
No,
it's not a natural thing.
You know, like we schedule other things. Put a stop timer on your phone.
That's one that me and my partner do. Some mornings, usually the weekends, we're like, all right, let's watch some TikToks for 15-30 minutes, and then we're done with it. You know what I mean? Instead of both of us scrolling there like
all day
separately.
Long.
Yeah.
I mean, if you pay attention, like sometimes your kids will be like, "Mom, mom, mom, mom," and I'm like,
"Yep."
Oh shit.
You get lost in it.
Sorry.
It's designed for you to get lost in it.
Yeah.
And I think going off of that too is one thing I'm a big advocate for as well too. Is you see all these things and you start comparing yourself without even realizing it. Is you're grateful. So there's a lot of studies out there about if you actually physically list or have like a partner that you talk to, like a friend, 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for every single day. you actually start to appreciate everything around you more.
Smart.
That sounds so stupid, but it's true, you know, because we do take advantage. We do take for granted everything that we do have in our lives that are already so good, you know, by comparison.
Yeah.
Comparison.
Yeah, we actually just, although off topic, but we just went to Costa Rica for our 10-year wedding anniversary, and, like, honestly, it was amazing, but it was very eye-opening for the people there. They are so pure and just
happy.
so genuine, and they are just genuinely happy. They are not, like, trying to get to the next levels, trying to search for what's next. Like, they're just like, man, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for today.
Just
like, a pure,
being
genuine.
present and being grateful,
And
yeah.
they're not consumers like we are. We are
Absolutely.
consumers, right? And they don't have that. And so I think, like you said, a daily gratitude journal
I'm gonna start texting
is a
you
big thing.
every morning. You're gonna
Oh,
get
shoot.
what are you grateful for? I started with this can of worms with her, so I'm pretty good about it. You start to realize too what you're actually really grateful for. Like my animals, I have 3 of the best animals in the entire world. I know everybody says that, but I actually do. And unless you point it out, you don't really realize
No,
it.
you take it
really
for
don't.
granted.
You do, because
know?
then you're on your phone or doing the next task
And imagine, what would your 15-year-old self think of where you are today?
oh yeah, that's
They'd probably be like, wow, whoa, wow,
Yeah,
you're doing big things.
Yep.
And instead, you're not like, wow, I am where I work so hard to get. You're like, what's next?
What's next?
Where do I go from here? How can I be better? How can I be more?
Yeah, whether it's
You gotta
a new
take a
car, new
breath.
house,
Yeah.
upgrade your gym game, or get a better job, things like that.
always something.
It's always something. And I think that is directly affected with your hormones because of your stress levels.
Yeah. Stress
1,000%.
affects it all. The cortisol, the inflammation, the blood sugar,
Mm-hmm.
the thyroid, it all goes hand in hand with hormones.
And then this is a really good point too, is time with loved ones boosts your connection hormone, which is your oxytocin. That's so true.
Yeah.
You know, and whether it's a FaceTime with somebody you haven't heard from in a while. I learned something really cool like 6 months ago. If you think of somebody, you're on good terms. If you think of somebody, text them right then and there. Hey, just thought of you. That will literally release oxytocin. Whether it's your mom you haven't texted or whoever, text them right then and there. Because I feel like in today's world where we're constantly looking at strangers, we have to keep our family close.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I think that's great.
that's my spiel about that. And it looks like we are actually about at the 6. I'm getting old. 6 p.m. time. So we're gonna wrap it up here. So is there any final thoughts that you would have for any of our viewers, or anything that you think is just a really good tip that people could use and they don't hear much?
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah.
Take it slow. Like, take a step back and go, what are 3 things that I could fix over the next 3 months? Small things. Because if you go ham trying to change everything,
it always
you're
falls
gonna
off.
fall off track.
It
It never works that way. So what are 3 things over the next 3 months that I could implement 4 days a week to help me? Whether that is cutting back alcohol, eating more protein. Americans are very protein deficient. At minimum, a female should take in 100 grams. Minimum. I think the average female I see in my clinic eats 30 grams protein a day.
That's crazy.
And so just take these small goals over time, and then in 5 years from now, you're gonna go, wow, okay, I got here and it took me time, but you have to take the small steps.
Those
to
small
get
goals turn into habits.
Yeah.
And that's, it takes what?
90 days, I think,
Yeah,
right?
8 to 10 weeks to actually make a habit and make them small.
Small.
I agree with you.
You have to be
1,000%.
bite-sized, attainable. Otherwise, it's not.
Yeah, whether it's
never
a
gonna
10-minute walk. I think now, after talking to you, I'm going to have a goal of 10 minutes a day. Meditate. Nothing at all.
Meditation is
Just
huge.
beautiful music. No Taylor Swift screaming in my ear. Just nice, spa, relaxing music. I think that's a really good one.
Yeah.
I guess my takeaway would be, you are what you eat. Even more so, after speaking with you about this, I'm a sucker for candy or a sweet, and it adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Not even talking about fat gain, but your actual stress levels, right? It does affect your stress levels, and that's one of my things I'm going to take back.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Tiny. Moderation, right?
Moderation, right, is the key.
Well, I think that's it.
I think there's a question.
Is there a question?
Okay, Tracy.
Meditation apps?
I use an app called the Breathe app,
Mhm.
BREETHE. I think it's like $12 a month. Do you guys have any?
Yeah, so we have meditations on ours. We actually have an entire wellness section. Tracy, I'll send you a code so you can download the app for free.
Yeah,
and everyone else
that's
on
better.
this as well too. And then there's also, excuse me, there's also really, really good meditations on YouTube, like how-tos, to really just get out of your thoughts whenever you're trying to sit down and meditate.
I think there was a...
Was there a question?
Jermaine, yes, remembering to breathe has been something
Breathe.
taken for granted. Yes.
So
see,
then
my man?
For that question too, I would go off Tracy about breathing. I would start with breath work. So breath work is really simple. I can send you a few different ones on how to do it because you can do it anywhere, whether in your car going to a doctor's appointment or you're just sitting on the couch doing Netflix. If you make breath work a habit, you're able to meditate a lot easier because then you're able to focus on your breath versus whatever everything else is going on in your head, right?
Yeah.
Is there any other questions that popped up, or do you guys have any
I
other
don't see
questions?
any. Anybody have any questions before we hop off? Drop them in the chat. Happy to answer them. You're basically getting free consults.
Free consult, yeah, from a wellness coach and a doctor. That's funny.
All right, yeah, cool. So thank you, so much
Absolutely.
for having me on the call. Anybody who is looking for any sort of like hormone testing, optimization, wellness,
Where are you located?
things like that, we're at 1831 North Belcher Road in Clearwater. We see patients all throughout the state of Florida. I have patients in Jacksonville, Tallahassee, West Palm Beach, literally everywhere.
Cool.
You can call us on the phone, 727-435-7394, or you can find me on social media, the HRT Mom.
That's her. Yep. So thank you everyone for coming to this, and everyone, I'll be sending an email. Any offices in Alabama?
No, sorry.
No, just
But
here.
if you visit Florida and I see you one time, then I can treat you
That's Reese's mom's
until.
So whenever you come down,
Yeah,
Tracy,
when you come, I'll
you'll
see you
definitely
one
see her.
time and then I can treat you.
That's perfect. What did I say?
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for coming on, and thank you. We're going to be sending an overview of all of this too, because there were a lot of steps on daily things. So just remember, keep it small. It's about progress, and everybody is a sports star. Thank you guys.
Bye. Just eggs?
Yeah. Ooh.